instead of being like, oh, I'm the lazy guy, ha ha ha, you got to switch up that mindset and be like, no, I'm like the fit athlete that I want to be. I'm the confident person that I want to be, and fall into the identity of that.
But just going back to what you said about atomic habits, a lot of people give that credit to that book, but one of my favorite books of all time is called Psycho-Cybernetics.
Okay.
It was written in 1960 by a guy called Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and he was a plastic surgeon. And what he is particularly truthful today, what he noticed was some people would come in to fix a disfigurement or a scar or a burn or whatever, and some people would have, after the surgery, way more confidence. But what he noticed over years as a plastic surgeon is most of the people who fixed or changed something, the confidence didn't change. So it wasn't the problem, the burn or the scar or the lips, whatever they want to do. It was the self-image.
Yes.
So Psycho-Cybernetics was all about the theatre of the mind, the self-image. Now, James, Atomic Habits gets all the credit today.
Yeah.
I mean, I read a few pages of that and I was like, okay, I've seen this before.
Yeah, it's pretty rudimentary
but like
stuff.
anything, see, people aren't, Psycho-Cybernetics is the original. Like that, read that book.
Yeah, I'd say even the language in the 60s is quite different. It'd be tough to get through.
I love that older stuff because you realise nothing is new. There's been people talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's why people say, a lot of girls especially, you know, and especially in the fitness world, doing a lot of changes, but they're not getting the confidence they want.
Yeah.
Maybe it's temporary because it's deep down, this healing stuff we talked about.
Yeah.
They're carrying burdens, like when you update your screensaver, right? After a while, you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
Because it becomes too familiar.
Yeah, you see
it's the
it
same
every
with
day.
your burdens. Most people are walking around with a 10 kilo weight vest, 20 kilo weight vest, and they think this surgery or this food or this person is going to fix it. It's not. It's the inner stuff that's the problem. And that's why, you know, again, coming back to that, so popular, the identity is everything, dude. You can't change the behavior without first changing the identity. How do you see yourself? And again, clearing away the debris of the past is so important.
So asking yourself like the right questions and tackling it head on.
The right question is always the answer.
Yeah. Fuck, dropping bombs here today. Yes.
So that's why I'm writing the book, because I said I stopped quoting other people years ago. I got my own bars. And I always said bars for days. So there's a mixtape coming as well after the book. But that's what I love when you do the work yourself. I'm sure it's the same with you, that you start finding these words and ways of articulating. Where the fuck that comes from? It's your way. But that's why I believe anyone listening to this, everyone has their own lane. If they're in fitness watching this, they don't need to be the next Rob Lipsett. They need to be the first them.
Yes.
You borrow pieces from people you admire. Like growing up, I listened to Jim Rohn. He was been on like my spirit down, my mentor. And I had other mentors for sure. But I found my own lane. Like I have a mixed kind of a bit of spirituality stuff, business, personal stuff. But I found my lane. For years, I was trying to fit into others. Like, am I a coach? Am I this? Am I that? And it's how you make people feel, dude. That's what matters.
Yeah.
So once you find your lane, you're full power. And then there's no competition then. I'm sure you probably felt that early on. You know, you're competing or you're trying to, now there's no competition. It's just creativity.
It's just you.
How can I just be the best me? What's going to make me feel alive? That's when you're winning, dude.
Yeah, and especially nowadays with social media, it's in your face. It's in your hand. It's like Neuralink. It's pretty much attached to you. So we're always comparing you. So how do you think someone should figure out what they want to do with their life? What would you say to someone who's feeling lost and directionless?
Yeah, same thing. Like the clarity is the first step. Curiosity leads to clarity, dude. You just got to get curious. You got to ask more questions. You got to start. The more conclusions you make about yourself, the less alive you become. The key is to be more alive. Like life is about experiences.
Yeah.
You know, you've had great experiences. You know, you're always with the lads or the things you're doing traveling around the world when you're in the States or in wherever. That's an experience. Those are the things you probably cherish most are the memories of the experiences, not necessarily the things. So what's going to give you the best experience? Well, you got to focus, who am I? Like, what do I want to do? And like Steve Harvey said it best, what do you do best with the least amount of effort? Like for me, I knew from the cruise ships was speaking, connecting with people. That's what I was good at. So I've just found my way. But the first time I spoke on stage was my brother's wedding. I was best man at 19. And there was 330 people at the wedding. Can you imagine? Like 330.
That's a big wedding.
Big wedding. And I was so nervous, I only had 2 dinners. That's how nervous I was. Because usually we have 3 at a wedding. You know? So I remember about 250 people came up to me after that speech and said, you should be on stage. And I was 19. I was like, how? I can't sing. I'm not that funny. I'm not going to be a comedian. And I remember the next few years, I was in health and fitness. I was finding my way. And I found my way. And now I've spoken on stage all over the world. But if I knew that was my strength, that's what I did best with the least amount of effort. That was my gift from God. I believe we all have gifts.
Yeah.
Your mission is to find that. What do you do best with the least amount of effort? Also, like some things you think are obvious are mind-blowing to other people. Like the things you do naturally that are simple to you are mind-blowing to other people. Don't undervalue what you have. The pain you've overcome. Like a lot of people, I always work with clients to turn their pain into power because your experience, your hurt is going to help other people overcome. Like there's hurdles you've jumped over, other people can't get over.
Yeah.
And I believe our mission in this life is to make the world a better place. I know it sounds cheesy.
No, that's
but
true.
I literally, like the service of others, when you're fully aligned, it's really about helping others. And it's really cool that when the more successful I become, it means the more people I helped.
Yeah.
And it's the same for you. The more you impact other people, the more your success goes. That's the key. Like success versus contribution, or success versus significance, a mentor of mine used to say. Success is when it's about me. Significance is about how can I make everything else better?
Yeah.
How can I help others win?